welcome or welcome back to my channel. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you would like to book a personal reading, then the details are down in the description box. I couldn't get that out then. So tonight we have a reading that seems to be all about the dark moon. So this is the final push just before new moon tomorrow. We are entering into a period of planting. So something that came to me earlier was about an energy of, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is my leg not quite right? Hold on a second, sorry about that. That's better. Okay, we can work with that, I think. Do tell me in the comments if this doesn't look straight, because I'm not sure why it's decided to not go straight, but I just started faffing with that. So, where was I? This energy is all about planting, and something that came to me earlier today was about how when we plant a seed, it needs to be watered. And through a meditation today, there was a need for shedding of emotion, shedding of tears, and not just me, but some of my family members as well. I meditate with my daughter sometimes, and we both had this emotion that came through. Now, I never really realised that before. I never really thought about that before. But if you want to plant something, you kind of need it to have sunlight and water, don't you? So it needs life force in the form of sun. And it needs something to nurture it and to cleanse it. And that is the water. So when we are setting our intentions, there is this need for, when that seed is planted, for it to be watered with those tears. So it may be that there is something that you need to release in order for your intention to be fully materializing. So what we're going to do today is a reading that's all about what is it that needs to be released at this time or cleansed at this time in order for your intention tomorrow to be realised. If you are following the moon cycles and you do set intentions, you don't have to do a big old ritual about it or anything, or write on a bay leaf and light it and burn it and things. You don't have to do any of those things. It's more just sort of something that you've decided, this is the way I'm going. You may be planting seeds for yourself already without really realising it. And these things manifesting in your life, I do feel some of you are master manifestors and you don't maybe even think about it. We have the rune Tiwaz, so an energy of committing to yourself. This is an energy of working with the crown, of taking things to a higher power. So from the reading I did yesterday, there's a feeling that some of you are actually talking to the moon, calling to the moon, suggesting how you're feeling or things that you want to manifest, or, I really want to bring in this, or I really want this to happen in my life. Can you show me a direction in my life? That kind of thing. And Tiwaz is about how the student kind of surpasses the teacher. So it's kind of like where you've got to a level where actually you might be asking for guidance here when the answers are within you and you know what to do, you know what to move forward in. And it's about commitment to yourself. So that's not allowing yourself to be distracted by anybody else's opinions, thoughts and feelings about what you need to do and how you need to move forward. It's completely and utterly listening to that inner tutor. This is a very popular rune of this week, Ingwas. Now, Ingwas is kind of like how it's not just about trust, it's also about bringing balance in terms of sort of like how your past affects your future as well. It does have an energy around it of that. It's sort of like learning about things from the past, and in doing that you learn to trust yourself. You trust your judgments based on your past experiences so that you can move that forward. So this goes in very well with Tiwaz. There's an energy here of you. What you're releasing here, I think, is a lack of feeling like you know what direction to go in. Actually, not allowing yourself to sit in how you felt in the past, what was right for you. It's now moving forward in the way that, like, well, I already know what I feel and what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go in that direction. You know, this is what I want. And for some of you, it might not be a conventional thing. It might be something that's going to ruffle a few feathers around the people that you're with, or that you know, or that you spend a lot of time with. You may start to be appearing different to the people around you, and that can have an impact on people. But ultimately, what impact is it having on you by trying to be a past version of yourself when you know that you're growing? And Ingwas kind of is the container that you can grow within. Imagine it like the chrysalis that the caterpillar goes within. And that's kind of, it is a seed. I mean, look at it. It looks like a seed, doesn't it? And it's like planting yourself in the earth, ready to grow, or attaching that chrysalis to the bottom of a leaf, ready for transformation. And that's exactly what this rune is calling to you, is like, trust in your process, because you are going through a transformation. You've chosen, or you are choosing, to commit to yourself and commit to what feels 100% right for you. I'm interested to know what the third rune is going to be. Nordies. So with Nordies, this is an energy of, as I always say, soul needs. And it can be very much about urges and sort of like that passion within you, something that you really need to burn away, the restriction, the constraint, the things that are holding you back from fully embracing the way forward that you want to go in. It's a lot of fire energy within this. Firepower. It's like rubbing those sticks together to create that fire, but you have to know how to rub those sticks together. It's, you know, it's all in how you do things that creates the fire that you get. Yeah. If you crappily sort of try and build a fire, it's not going to be great. It's probably going to smoke too much and go out. Whereas if you make it nicely and you put a lot of kindling underneath and you make it so that you know it's going to be a beautiful fire, and you tend to that fire constantly as well. You don't let it go out. You are constantly working on, well, what can I do now? And getting a system together where you can have more on there. I'm just thinking back to like a program I watched once where they'd set up the system with logs that roll down. So once the one's burned up, another one would roll down, and it was kind of like to keep the fire going completely. So be innovative here. All of these runes are kind of suggesting, you know, trust yourself, commit to yourself. There's a way forward for you that I feel you already know, that's aligned with your soul needs. But now you've got to build the fire. You've got to build that fire within you, yourself. You can't rely on anybody else to do this for you. You've got to do it for you. Okay. And with Nordies, it can have an energy to it of feeling a little bit isolated, feeling a little bit like, you know, I'm the only one that can build this fire. And that can sometimes make you feel that restriction, constraining you. For some of you, there may be an element of like, yeah, well, I know the way I want to move forward, and I've got an idea in my head, and I am trusting, but I'm still not seeing the materials materialize that I need to do this. Okay, so go and find them then. Go and sort that out for yourself. Don't wait for it to sit in your lap. You need to go out and get it. You need to go and figure out what you need for your need fire. Okay, on that note, I'm going to pick a moon card to give us a word that relates to this particular situation for you right now. So, what are we on this dark moon needing to look at to help you to move forward in the way that you need to go with your intention? Okay, we've got two that have come out here. Request and forgive. So, there's an element of, I say, forgiving yourself. This feels like a past energy. So it's sort of like energy of the past, things that have already happened. There's a need to release that because it kind of throws you away from this commitment to yourself, because there's an energy of feeling unworthy. And that's holding you back massively, because it's almost like if we're always looking at ourselves as the student and, you know, putting somebody else on a pedestal maybe, or they know more than me, or they're better than me, or anything like that, it holds you back from committing to yourself, because you're allowing something else to have power over you. And this is about you having power with. Not over, not under, but with. And forgiveness is at the heart of that. Forgiveness lives in the heart, okay? Now, you may need to forgive somebody else, potentially. Maybe there's been a situation that's been, it feels to me, unresolved, not really being able to be spoken about. Maybe when a conversation comes up around this, it becomes a little bit tense or not quite right, and it doesn't end up being resolved. So there is an energy of things being unresolved here that kind of need to be. It's like that house is sort of just hanging there in the balance, isn't it? It's almost like, are we here? Are we up? Are we down? Where are we? We're just kind of sat right in the middle. But that moon has been guiding all this time. And it's kind of like, I feel this particular moon cycle now that we're entering is like, right, we need to clear all of this stuff from the past so that our seed is nice and clean to go in that soil, ready for your tears to sort of just release that. Yeah, there needs to be forgiveness there. And with that, I feel like there needs to be some tears shed for that. Because whatever's happened in the past has happened. You can't go back and change anything at all that's happened in your life. Just saw 1111 on the clock. This is a time now for realising your worth, realising that you do have a way forward, and all you have to do is ask. And then you need to stop restricting yourself, constraining yourself by past actions and things that have happened, and allow yourself to move forward in the way that you want to. You're holding something back here. And by holding it back, you're keeping yourself locked in that restraint. It's not allowing you to reach that higher conscience. And your spirit is calling for you to reach that higher conscience. But this needs to be shifted first. This forgiveness issue needs to be shifted first. Otherwise, you can't move forward from it. Okay? Now, nobody can give you that. This is about you acknowledging the truth within yourself. Nobody else can do that for you. You have to do that for yourself. You have to forgive yourself, is what I'm getting from this. And we've got on here, request. So I'm going to read up just what that means on the request one, because this one doesn't come out very often. And I'm not sure. So it's ask, investigate, visualize, receive, and experiment. So there can be no better time to ask your dreaming mind to help you with a specific problem than when the moon is waxing. This is because the moon starts to reach out and express herself in the night sky, and that is exactly what you are doing when you incubate a dream. You're reaching for resolution and moving away from passively hoping for change towards actively experimenting with solution. Okay? So, yes, you've got to stop hoping for things and then holding on to this feeling of like, well, I can't forgive myself. I can't forgive myself for this. That's not helping you to manifest your dreams. It's not helping you to move forward either. In the process, committing to positive change, committing to that positive change, committing to what you know is the right direction for you now. You know, stop beating yourself up. Yeah, I'm just looking at the... it's a good book, actually. They are a good set of cards. They give you sort of like things that you can do, setting affirmations and stuff, and writing things down. And this might be a time right now, actually, to write down the things that are from this reading affecting you from this move forward. Because I do feel for many of you, you already know the way forward, but this element of forgiving yourself for the past, and feeling like you can move towards positive change, that you can ask for what you want and be able to get it as well. It's like knowing your worth, really, pretty much. So write down what you feel is holding you back from what it is that you're looking for right now. Write it down and place it under your pillow tonight. Now, some of you might be like, well, what's that going to do? It will allow you to access this within your dream time. And this is a deep, deep subconscious effort that's going to help you to move through things that are holding you back. And in that dream time, even if you remember your dreams or not, it's going to help you to drive that forward. I'm going to empower that tonight. So whoever's watching this video, if you want me to empower that for you, drop a little emoji or something in the comments, and we will work on that, okay? To help you to manifest the way forward for your new moon intention. Okay. I'm to get one more on that, because I just want to feel, since we've been talking, what energy has changed on this. I want to know more. I want to know more about what is holding you back at this time. Go on, give us an answer on here. And then that kind of gives us one for each rune then, doesn't it? Whoa. I'm going to put those back. And what I'm going to do is place the deck down here where you can see it. I'm going to cut it in half and I'm going to pick one. Remember, this is past energy. This is definitely past energy. So with forgive, request, and remember. So this is about remembering something that I feel you actually hold dear from the past. I'm getting in my head again that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. So this is about remembering something from your past. And I feel like maybe this is what you've been doing a lot, is reminiscing about something from your past that brings you a fulfilling feeling, but you never actually got to fulfill it. Like something like that just looks too unfixed. It's like something very stable is on something that's able to float away from the stepping stones. And like with anything, you know, there are steps towards growth and progress. And when you grow something on an unstable surface, it's bound to have shaky foundations and come apart at some point. So this is remembering that point where you feel things got shaky or unstable. Take your mind back to that point and reassess what's going on in that situation, because it feels to me like there's an energy pull from the past that's holding you in this space, that's kind of stopping you from this ability to move forward, to go where you need to go. And that's linked into this forgiving yourself for something. It might be some words that you spoke, it might be an action that you took, something like that. And it's allowing you to release that energy. So this release is possibly through allowing yourself to cry over it, grieve over it. You don't need to run out the door and ask somebody for forgiveness or anything like that. You don't need that from somebody else. You need that from yourself, okay, to understand the situation. And then I feel like somebody's trying to manifest what's happened in the past and bring something back that is good. It's almost like go back to a reset point. You're trying to reset to a point, but you can't go back. You can't go back to anything. You can only start from where you are and move from that point. So let's see where you are and how we can move forward from this point here. So with T-Was here, what is the commitment, first of all? Let's find that out. What is this commitment all about? What is it that you want to commit to? Oh, just saw the Three of Cups on there. So this could be to do with friendship. And a hasty kind of energy. Just saw the Knight of Swords on there as well. Maybe you've made a decision around a friendship or a relationship. Oh, and we've got the King of Swords now. So this is someone who's very clear thinking, brave, courageous. So, oh, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles as well. So this is someone that's been really, really thinking about things and assessing things, trying to, yeah, it's like you're looking at the work that you've done, where you've got to, and you are starting to feel like ambitious to take communication on something. Because this is a clear thinking, logical person with the King of Swords, okay? So this is someone that's kind of like, right, I need to take the lead here and you have, with T-was there, this is what we're asking about, is you've decided to take the reins on something. You've decided, like, this is where I want to go, this is what I need. And with the Seven of Pentacles on there, this is kind of like, I feel a bit of a direction change. So T-was is kind of suggesting someone taking a real courageous and very clear in their way forward now, in the direction that they're going in. It's almost like you've really put in the work assessing the situation on here, and that's where the commitment comes in. That's where T-was comes in. But it does mean making a sacrifice. It means something has had to be sacrificed in order for you to move forward with this. So let's see what Ingwas is telling us. I've got the Tower. The Tower just fell out there. We've also got the Page of Pentacles as well. So, you know, this could be like a bit of a new opportunity, new beginnings. And again, with the Seven of Pentacles there as well, it's like making a plan. Like somebody's really making a plan here. So with Ingwas, let's have a look. So what can you tell us with Ingwas? We've got the Emperor. Again, more action. So Ingwas is like really, oh, and the Four of Wands, you're really trusting yourself. And this is what I feel your request is. You know, this is a request that you've got on here. There's a real strong pull energy of like, I'm not joking here. I know what way I want to move forward and where I want to go. There is some wounding though here, and with the Nine of Wands in reverse, sometimes can signal a little bit of self-sabotage. So I feel a lot of the forgiveness on here is actually to do with maybe self-sabotage, sabotaging something that actually you regret. See, I feel somebody that's been through a lot of battles in their life, had maybe a bit of heartache, things going on where they haven't been able to trust, and something has hit you now where you're realizing, actually, I can commit to this. I know I can trust this. And you're deciding to move towards that trust. Yeah, there's that energy. I'm going to put those back on there and see if they come out again and then they're meant to be. Okay, so what did you sabotage? Let's have a look. What's this sabotage about? Why are you feeling that? Okay, so we've got the Emperor in reverse here. I'm going to put those two back. Well, we've got the Nine of Swords. I'm going to keep that one out actually, because I do think that's relevant with the Emperor in reverse. So again, this is sort of like someone that's been a little bit defensive, stubborn, maybe. This is the energy I'm getting, is that somebody feels like the self-sabotage was through you feeling maybe like you acted selfishly. That's what I'm getting from this. There's an energy of somebody feeling like they acted selfishly. And it's kind of through feeling like you needed to be in control of a particular situation, or like you were afraid that you would lose control over a particular situation. Now, the Nine of Swords kind of represents this very well, because it's like there's a feeling of worry around this, or guilt, or just, this is what I feel is, with that forgiveness card coming through here, is sort of like, you know, this is why you need to forgive yourself, because whatever that was in the past that you feel happened, you know, don't talk about yourself in a way of like, well, I was selfish there, or I feel guilty about this, or I feel ashamed about how I acted on that. We go from where we are in that place at that point, and we act from that place, from that point where we are. And all you can do really is take the lesson from it, learn the lesson from it. And then when you move forward, and that's part of Ingwas, like we said before, is like learning from the past and moving that forward, because then it helps you to trust yourself, because you're like, oh, I know where I am here, and I don't want to go back to that particular situation. So I'm going to go into this situation in a different way, in a better way, a more positive for me kind of way. And that's what this is talking about. So that is what we're releasing today. This is part of your releasing intention, is whatever happened there in the past that you're holding on to, that you need to forgive yourself for. It feels to me like somebody that was maybe a little bit stubborn, a little bit feeling like they were being selfish, and sabotaging particular things. So let's look at Nordies now, because there's something that's really deep in your soul as something that you want to move forward with. So what is that? What is it that you want to move forward with for your intention? Now that we know what we need to release, and that is a big one, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. You may need to form an affirmation there that kind of suggests, you know, I forgive myself, and maybe your intention is to be like, I'm not going to sabotage anything. I'm not going to sabotage anymore. I'm not going to sabotage things anymore. Now, if you did want to work deeper on that, I can do sessions with you like soul regression that can help you to access what that is and where it comes from, where that is hidden within your subconscious mind, so that we can move it forward, move it out there. Stop it from holding you in a place where you're feeling lost and alone. So the Five of Pentacles is an energy of feeling left out in the cold, almost like, you know, well, I've had to shut the door on that because you know, it's all gone, it's all lost, everything's over. There's an energy here of feeling rejected as well. So that is another element of this that's holding you back from moving forward, is that feeling of rejection, okay? But we've got the Knight of Wands on the bottom of here. So there is something in you that has some drive, some passion, some inspiration. It's like an inspired thought that is now, and this is one of the wands, so this does relate to Nordies as a way forward, a way for you to move forward here. So let's have a look then. You are in an energy now, if you can release this, forgive yourself and release this, it does help you actually to create a new adventure in your life. Something fun and exciting is about to occur if you can just let this go. What was I saying? So we've got the Two of Cups on here. Now this was with Nordies that we were looking at as we were talking there. So if you can release this, forgive yourself, and bring yourself the affirmation of like, I'm not going to self-sabotage anymore. This is what you get. It's a complete union with what it is that you're trying to manifest here, because that's what I feel like it is that you want union with a soulmate. That is the ultimate, is what I'm feeling from this. But you are having a fear of being rejected because of the past. Yeah, and I've just got the Ace of Swords there, which is kind of like you're going to need some clarity here. You are in that need of clarity. You're thinking a little bit too much. There's also an element of keeping some truth in as well. Like there's a fear of allowing truth to come out. Ooh. Yeah, you're I do feel like this is definitely something from the past that's holding you back from being able to move forward with what you want to manifest here. Now this could be a past relationship that's holding you back, that you have been thinking about a lot, maybe going back to those points where it's sort of like, where did it go wrong? Where did that happen? Where did that go wrong? Where was I going with that? But then you're having these intuitive downloads and things that are reminding you of this. And this is kind of like, I keep seeing these stepping stones but they're not supported. So it's almost like you want to move forward, but you don't feel any real foundations underneath you to kind of hold the space. And the energy of this is, you know, you don't want to allow something from the past to hold you back from moving forward. And if this is actually moving forward with somebody from the past, then a truth needs to come out by the look of it. And and there's a fear of rejection with that. If this is you moving forward in a new connection, but there's a fear of, you know, having to explain things from the past or letting things out there, it's kind of holding you back by having the fear and not allowing yourself to move forward. So you do need to allow yourself to move forward, because whatever this is, whoever this soulmate is and what you're moving towards, you know, if it's meant for you, then there's going to be understanding there. There's going to be, and this might be what your soul needs are right now, is to feel understood. But it starts with you forgiving yourself first. Okay. So let's go a little bit more with this Two of Cups. So what's that all about? Why is Two of Cups here? What is it that you're working on? Tell us more about this Two of Cups. With that High Priestess there, I do feel like this is something that you already kind of know about and maybe have been dreaming about, having lots of dreams. Perhaps you don't normally have dreams. What is that Two of Cups telling us on here? Okay, so we've got the Ten of Swords on there. Now, this isn't a particularly great energy, because this is an energy of something that's kind of like been stabbed in the back, betrayal, that kind of thing. But it can also be, I do see somebody that's been holding themselves back from, I feel like you know what this is, but you kind of held yourself back from it because of this fear of rejection. And it's kind of like you're so worried about being hurt in this situation that you've kind of restricted yourself within this. And it's really holding you back from actually acknowledging your soul needs and being able to move forward in that energy. See, we've got the Knight of Wands again coming up on here. So there is a feeling of wanting to take action, wanting to move forward. There's inspiration within this connection, and it does fire you up when you think about it. When you feel into it, it fires you up. It brings you a lot of warmth and definitely a lot of intuition around it as well. Keep getting the Tower coming out, so there is sudden changes. I do feel this is like something that's maybe suddenly you've reached a point of like, I know what to do. I know what I need to do. I know what I want to commit to now. Yeah, we've got the Seven of Cups, but this came out in the reverse position. So this could be sort of like, you know, when it's that way around, there's a lot of choices, a lot of decisions to be made, and a lot of illusion. So when it's in this position, it's kind of like breaking the illusion, and the choice has been made. A decision's been made here. And we've got the Hierophant on the bottom, which does relate to Tiwaz in the sense of like a spiritual awakening, enlightenment in a way. So like Tiwaz is reaching that kind of having guidance from a higher council, and so is the Hierophant. It's like having that guidance from a spiritual council. Okay, so it's, you may have maybe some of you have been for an actual, you know, not instead of YouTube readings like this and with a collective, you've actually gone and had a personalised reading somewhere, and you've been given some information that's kind of awoken you to the way forward, and that's giving you something to commit to. And it's also giving you something that's placed you in this self-containment. You're going through a transformative time right now, but ultimately it's kind of driven you to understand your soul needs on a deeper level, and that's what you're working towards now. So I'm going to get a final outcome on this for you. What is the final outcome here? Because that's what you need on this dark moon, is allowing yourself, forgive yourself, ask for what you want. Make sure you're clear about what it is that you actually want, without any like, yeah, I want this, but there's this in the way of that. Don't even think about how it's going to manifest. Just think, this is what I want, okay? And then everything will unfold as it's meant to. You've got to trust that process. And we have the Queen of Wands. This is complete passion, drive, creative energy. There's a lot of like sexual energy with this, and sexual energy is creative energy. It has determination and power. a very, very strong power. And again, it's a wand, so it relates to Nordies in that need fire. You need fire right now underneath you to awaken you, to drive you forward, to give you that power, that stoke that fire within you and raise that energy up, because there's a lot of good things coming for you. There is a lot of good things, especially around this next moon cycle, this planting cycle. But you have to release the tears, release the fears, forgive yourself, you know, ask for what it is that you want, and remember what it is that you want as well. Remember what it is that you want, because I feel like you've already kind of had a taste of what you want, and you are striving to not go back to the past, but maybe start from a point where it's like, right, well, this was where I wanted it to be, and something else happened here, or this sabotage happened here. So it's releasing that. Forgive yourself, and, you know, commit to, I'm not going to sabotage myself anymore. I'm not going to do sabotaging things anymore. And I seriously do recommend a soul regression on that, because we can definitely help you to release that and remove that. And this is the perfect time now around that new moon. Okay. So let's get one final word on here. 8 of Wands. This is good news, the ability to move forward, very fast action. It's almost like you've kind of decided, yep, this is the way forward. And we have even more wands on the bottom. We've got King of Wands now. So we actually have a divine counterpart there. So that, I'm going to have to put the whole pack down because it's getting a bit much. This is a divine counterpart. This is the King and the Queen of Wands. That's a very passionate couple. Very, very passionate. So I do feel like this connection perhaps holds a lot of passion here. Maybe a lot of sexual energy. And there is this real deep connection going on here. So with the 8 of Wands there as well, that's a lot of wands. A lot of wands. And this is like bringing things to a conclusion as well. So if you needed to know what the conclusion was, then this is basically saying this is what it is. It's like the conclusion is this is a divine counterpart coming together. It's 2 of Cups, a union happening on there. There's also a lot of, this can be about trust as well, and that goes with Ingwas. So where we had Ingwas on this, there's an element of trusting what you're being guided towards. And I feel like intuitively you do know what you're being guided towards, but you have to let go of this inability to forgive yourself and a feeling of like, well, I sabotage everything. This is about you reaffirming, okay, I don't sabotage things anymore. This is the way I want to go forward, and I'm not going to sabotage it in any way, shape or form. I'm going to leave this reading here for tonight, and if again I can help you any further with soul regression, or you would like a personalised reading to go more in depth with your personal situation on this, if it resonated with you, please leave a little emoji or something down in the comments. If it will help me to connect with you more if you do follow my readings a lot, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a blessed evening.